Hello, Libra. Kia ora koutou katoa. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So there's a sense of calmness and stability and groundedness at the moment. This energy that is working with me right now to bring through your reading. So there was a sense of excitement as well, and a sense of heightened energy that has been, that was coming through before. So I'm not really sure what was going on there, but for some of you, I feel that's probably, I'm picking up on you, like, not really sure what was going on there, but I feel like in some ways, like you do, there's been a shift in some way where there might have been a lot of excitability, or for some of you, a lack of excitability. So there's going to be two things going on here. So depending on, which end of the spectrum you are, as far as that. So some of you may have had this heightened, scattered energy over the last week or so, and coming into this the end of this month in September. So as you will have read on the thumbnail there, it was like, this is for October 2021. The messages that are coming through in this reading. So there's a lot of I'm just listening or observing and taking note of and being aware of how I'm speaking at the moment, and not so much a sense of hesitancy, but curiosity at the same time as to what is coming next. And I feel there's a sense of excitement. So either way, whether you have been it's been like unsettled, or things may have been up in the air, and there may have been some confusion, as well as some, what the heck is going on here, and, with some relationships and things like that. But I do feel like it's starting to settle down now, because it's more of a sense for those of you, if this resonates, of, understanding where you stand with it. Whereas before, there was a sense that maybe, or this person may have, or person or persons, situations may have created this confusion as to where and who you are, and brought something up about that for you. And so it may have been, actually, no, it's a bit of questioning of your of the way that you've been thinking, doing things in your life at the moment. So, and things have been changing and changing up. So for others of you who have been things have kind of been a little bit more, not so, a little bit more calmer, but still some unsettledness in between it. But it's like there is a layer, even a layer of, or two layers of, there's this, oh gosh, how they're putting it, there's been layers of things that have been put on top of one, on top of the other, and there's a layer of a sense of calmness underneath everything, but on the surface there's a bit of scatteredness in a way. So there's I feel like you're trying to there's this feeling of trying to find some sort of balance and find some sort of stability. And I feel I can feel my energy now just starting to calm down. And what Spirit is saying, it's because there's more of an acceptance of the way that you're thinking and the way that you're doing things, and the way that you need to do things for you, and it's been all right. And some of the things that you may have done, decisions that you may have done, you may have, or people may have questioned you, or you may have questioned yourself, if for that matter. And so it's caused this, this sense of indifference between your battle of wills with yourself and the way that you're thinking and being, and and everything like that. I feel like something is happening has happened, even as I'm doing this reading, that you have come to some sort of a sense of peace within you, basically, about whatever it is that's going on for you. And for some of you, it's not just one thing, and usually there is a main theme, but there are little bits and things that have that are out, that stream off it or stream to it, so that kind of around it, the core thing there, or what you think is the core, but actually that goes a little bit deeper than that. But anyway, let's just work with this, is like what Spirit is saying. So, and this is what happens, it's working with what that is, and then other things start to come in or wane away, and just sheds a little bit more light. So I feel like this is a similar, in a way, that's kind of what's happening or happened, and it's going, and some of there may be more of that for some of you going through this month of October, but I do feel like there's like this, it's an amazing learning opportunity and self-discovery for you, but also that deeper sense of settledness within you, and being okay with who you are and what you do and how you do it, and your choices in life, and your choices not just in the past but in the recent past, and the and in the now, and some of the ones that you're thinking about doing now, that and putting them into the future, knowing that there is going to be choices in the future. But it's like I'm feeling like, and what they're saying is, but just bring yourself back to the now. So anyway, on that, saying that I'm using the or we're using the unicorn cards here this month for to bring through the messages, or the key theme anyway. So I feel like there's something about like, it's okay to be different with the first card here. You don't need to be like everyone else. You're perfect just as you are. So for some of you may have been questioning that, or you may go into that space in October and start to maybe think, and some of you may be already there, like just started thinking about that. It's like, whoa. So and maybe you have already started doing that, but it's like in a different way now, or on a different level, or different way, with a different perspective. You're maybe asking or seeing different things about that, and as you're processing and releasing and understanding and knowing what's going on for you, and allowing yourself to do what it is for you. So I'm going to take these three here and put them over here. Okay, cool. So there's something going on there, and then we have underneath this one here, or beside it, is exercise. So this may be something that you have been contemplating, but not actually got your butt into gear and doing it. And so this is like run, walk, swim, or otherwise move your body. This will give you more energy and happiness. So, like, as with anything, I think most of us know that once we get moving, it's going through the hard yards. But this is about you shifting your perspective, your mentality, your mindset, your emotional attachments that are connected to exercise and what they're related to, whatever it is. This is like going the whole kit and caboodle to figuring out and allowing yourself to move past some of these thoughts and feelings about and these connections to like old patterns and habits and things like that, and that, so you can move and then get on with something, get on with your life in some way or form, whatever that is. So hello and goodbye. You'll soon see that this change will make things better. Oh my gosh. And I feel like, pretty much, I don't think I need to say much more than that, but most of us know, I guess, that that once we fulfill our ourselves, in the sense of making choices and actually doing them, and not procrastinating, not making excuses, and which is quite often what we can do, and use the weather for an excuse, and there are other ways of movement, and blah blah blah, and there's other ways of looking at things, and it's kind of like, if you know where your weak spots are, is what I'm hearing, is is to have an action plan, is put an action plan into place, because it. So this is about making a commitment to yourself. And there's things that I've heard myself, I'm not a morning person. Well, I'm not going to be. So my mindset is like, and if I keep saying that is I'm not going to be. I am going to be not a morning person. But that's because maybe sometimes I go to bed quite late. So if I go to bed earlier, I'm going to get up earlier, generally speaking. So it's kind of looking at those sorts of things and being mindful about what you're doing before you're going to bed, as far as drinking coffee. Are you watching something or doing something that's actually stimulating your mind, instead of allowing yourself to wind down for the night? All those sorts of things. So it has a place bearing in in how we sleep well, so, or exercise well, or way we're thinking, feeling. It could be that you're eating, food that, or, ingesting food, or, and it's not digesting very well in your body with what you're eating. Whatever it is, just being, I feel like they're just saying, some of you that, like, you'd be thinking, thinking, well, yeah, I know that. They're just stating the obvious in some way. Spirit is saying they've been quite gentle but forceful, encouraging, forcefully encouraging, and, about moving, shifting something, a space that you're in. There's a sense of calmness as well, because there's a sense like here with relax, everything's okay. So don't worry, it's all going to be fine. And you might be saying, oh, well, I'm not worried, and, it is going to be fine about something that's going on. But, are you really? And it's like, for some of you, I'm hearing the Spirit is saying, are you really? Others of you, like, you're saying, yeah, I am. So this is like, I feel like the Spirit is just talking about being honest with yourself. And there may be something in your life that's not quite rolling out how you would like. But I do feel like something is like something is shifting where you're able to more relax into it now, and not actually allow, get into overthinking it, or there is a release, and it's like it will happen, and just truly trusting. But it's also making, taking steps and making an effort in other areas of your life outside of that, to get something else moving, or tidying up things. It may be decluttering, the house. It may be decluttering your mind, doing things like outside of exercise, and like yoga or something like that, or when I'm saying that, or meditation, or finding a hobby or something that you can do. And it may be a physical hobby, not just, not necessarily, painting. It may be like, a painting hobby, and not necessarily exercise for you. Whatever it is, it's finding something or doing something where I feel like there's a stimulating your brain or your mind as well, is coming in through there, and it just in learning new things, which would help you learn new things about you. Okay, so, and it's like, but I do feel on the other hand of that, there is something that is in the background there that, can be maybe concerning you, in the background. So, but it's like, okay, and at the end of the day, it's just relax, everything's okay. So, and it will, and sometimes what we have to realize is that, sometimes things are taking a little while to come to fruition, because the universe, something hasn't lined up in the best way possible for us, so we can, so we can see what it is, feel what it is, know what it is, and bring it together, and know what it is, feel what it is, even more so than what we did before, and realize actually there was something better out there than what I thought as well. So it's just, they're just saying, it's just being open to, what else is possible that could be coming from that. And it may be that and something else, it may be, and a bonus in there is like I say, that and something else they're talking about here. So, or it may be like along the same lines, and it's slightly different, but it's like, oh, I never really thought about that way, or that's even better that's an even better outcome than what I thought was going to happen. And it may be in the background that you actually had an inkling, that could happen, but it's kind of like you popped it aside and then forgot about it. And it's like, right, okay. So either way, it's like just keeping an open mind. So there's something about here deciding, it's in reverse. So it's time to clearly make a decision about what you want. And this is what I feel like they were talking about here, about, even though there may be a time where there is a little bit of stagnancy, you could say, or you may be feeling like it's a block and it's been held up or whatever. But, I always say that usually there's a, for me, in my experience anyway, and, it's like looking at that, and have I put that block in there? What have I done to create this block, if it is a block? And it just helps me to discern what it is, if it is a block or not, or if it's just something that, and, that is out of my control. Is it like the universe is blocked? Maybe not. Maybe they're blocking something, or something else is, coming in. But is it really a block? So it's like looking past that and finding the good in it, or finding out, realizing, seeing what may be actually why something has been held up for a little bit, and you've got, and you're wanting to move something. So maybe you've missed something, or maybe something is needing to come to you that you haven't seen yet, and, a piece of information in order to take the next step, which will will probably create the best possible outcome in the long run. So, there may be something, somebody may be, there may be something or somebody that you're going to meet, come across somewhere along the line. So this is like, making a decision, I say usually because it doesn't always happen straight away, but usually for me it happens almost straight away. Something will happen and I'll go, right, okay, when I make this decision or make a choice, and if something's been held up, and usually that's what's been held up, is because we're not making a decision. So things aren't actually able to fall into place in the way that we would dearly like them to be. And like I say, sometimes it's not going to fall into place the way we dearly like it to be. So keeping that open mind, making a decision, and like I say, generally, the universe or something else is just waiting for you to make a decision or a choice in whatever you're doing, and something will come that will let you know the next step, or just it opens up that door where you're able to go out and explore whatever it is that you're wanting to get into or move towards. So, but usually we've got something to tidy up or bring together, understand, or just rest and get ready for the next stage. Okay, as well as making that decision. And so, like I say, sometimes we can make it and then it kind of maybe, well, I made my decision, but it's like, so there is, and maybe it's not moving in the way or as fast as you want. But like I say, it's going back to like just, there's something there in the background that is working its magic for the best possible outcome. So anyway, we have the 9 of Swords underneath this. Underneath it, it's okay to be different. So, so there's something about you not allowing, like there's probably, and some of the decks is basically about, explains this card is about, unfounded nightmares. So you may be overthinking about something and returning something, and 6, 3 and 3 equals 6, but it may be equaled 18 or 29 or even 159, so it's like just allowing yourself to go with the flow of that, and seeing what's coming up with whatever is going on, and whatever somebody else may be saying, or someone's maybe seeing or saying, or what you're saying to yourself. Maybe you're not trusting something, a move that you're going to make because you're concerned about what other people might think, and that's quite often what a lot of us go through. I've been through that myself, and every now and then it rears its head with something when I'm a little bit uncertain about taking a new path, but or heading down this track, and it's like, well, but it's nowadays it's smidgen, if at all, with certain things, not everything, but it's like usually it's a smidgen with some things. And nowadays it's like, okay, I'm just going to go and have a nosy down there and see what happens, or a nosy over that way, explore and see what happens. But but the more we practice that and allow ourselves to move past that the uncertainty or the fear that's there, and and that the more we allow ourselves to move past what other people might think, basically. So there's something about that, and then there's the swords are just above your head, so it's not in the card, so it's okay to be different. It's like, this is your life. And it's like you may be making a decision, about something as well, which is why this, and then turning that into like, way overthinking that, and that. So it's like, okay, just doing what you need to do for you, basically, with love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement, and adventure, and prosperity and abundance. And that starts to open up everything when we working with all that type of energy flowing through us and making our decisions. Okay, so anyway, exercise, yes, that is definitely going to help you. Movement of some sort, it just gets the blood moving and the endorphins moving and all those sorts of things, helps to clear our mind, even though sometimes it doesn't. But that's our job, to stay present and focused in the moment while we're working. I mean, you go to the gym, and if you're focused on what you're doing with the weights, because if you're not and you hurt yourself, that you've flapped off somewhere and you're not in the moment. So this is about, when you go to the gym, it's the same thing. When you're in your work, when you're doing whatever you're doing, it's like staying centered and focused in the moment. Even when you're walking down the road, if you're not thinking about something, you're going to trip. You're not going to see something. You're not aware of what's going on around you. So it's being, you can do all that, and still walking down the path and, being aware of what is actually happening around you. So you see things, and then it becomes an everyday, every time, living, eating, breathing it once we do get into that space. So center, focus, ground, more often than not. And when we feel like when something's not kind of like unsettled, it's okay, what is that about? I think I need to ground, come back here, and so I can work with it better. Okay, so anyway, we've got the Knight of Wands there. So something is moving. So he's kind of like maybe you might be just like something, the energy is moving. So he's a fast mover, this Knight of Wands. He moves quite quickly. It can be quite overwhelming at times, but I do feel like there's maybe a snap decision, or you're just picking up the momentum. And this one here is like keeping you on the ball, basically, and giving you maybe a little nudge, this energy. So the universe or people around you maybe just like giving you that little bit more of inspiration. Could be a fire sign energy in your life with that one. This other one here, like this is definite you getting out of your head. There could be another Libran or air sign that's around you, that maybe similar thinking or something like that around you. But I feel like that's more around you though. But there may be even an Aries energy around you that's like just like encouraging you. But I do feel there's a male energy this is connected to more of a male energy. It could be a female, depending on what's going on. But I feel like because this energy, he's like can be quite overwhelming at times too. So whether this is an exercise of physical movement, I'm hearing exercise as in like an exercise to work with the mind, and that's in mind shifting the mind or something like that. Even whatever it is, there's something to do with an exercise as well. But I feel like it's more, this is more like to do with the physical. So there may be, there's some movement there. So get cracking with that, and, a burst of energy where you can, keep moving. So he's like looking, he's more than contemplating. But I feel like there's something about directions at the moment, and not being too like, stuck on why this is just about getting something moving, whether it's starting off with walking or whatever, or you may want to go to the gym and not in some of you this may be increasing the intensity as well, with wherever this is. So that's what it may be about too. So hello and goodbye, there's the Page of Pentacles. So I feel like there is definitely some movement here with either work or family, or even like to do with, hello, goodbye to, this old mindset, this excess body weight. There's something about you I'm hearing like a contract with yourself of commitment to yourself, keeping yourself accountable, staying in this grounded, and working on your mind, body, spirit, soul energy, soul side of you, and so you can move into whatever direction that you're wanting to move in. So he's like bringing this energy. I feel like there's something to do, adding on to that, a sense of energy there. Not necessarily is this about always about the financial side, but I feel like there is, on saying that for some of you, there is something about moving. Some of those exercises can help with when you're thinking different, making different decisions about what you're going to do in this next stage of your life. Even some of you, there's like 2-3 things going on here. Even to do with family, like there's new movement, and that money, there's money or finances there. So some of you may be moving out of home, some of you may be moving into a home, whatever that is, and making changes, something to do with changes, creating changes, probably to do with finances, and also which could be with income, or work, career, and it could be to do with family stuff as well. It could be to do with your health. It could be to do with your energy levels as well. So on saying that with this exercise here, it could be to do with getting yourself in healthier, fitter, expanding on that or extending on that as well. So there's this hello and goodbye sort of energy to that, like Hello to this new attitude and goodbye to this other attitude. So that's pretty cool. Relax, everything's okay. So we've got the Ace of Cups here. So there's something about a new perspective in the way that you're emotionally, is how you're dealing with your emotions and how you deal with other people's emotions actually as well. So there's a shift in there in how you can best help yourself as well as them on saying that, but not getting caught up in other people's stuff as well. I do feel like there may be something why they say you're getting caught up with your emotions and or somebody else's. There's a shift in that. It's just about this not worrying because everything is going to be be fine, all good. With that one. So I feel like there's a sense of definitely change, with the way that you are emotionally attached to certain things or people, feelings, timelines, even like past life or the past in this life even. So you may be finding some things might be coming up to where you are able to release some energetic patterns and that sort of thing, because we have the devil here. So in deciding, and with the underneath this decide, so there's something like breaking a cycle of with this decision that you are about to make, or the decisions that you're going to be making. It's like there is something with a person or persons where you've been feeling a bit trapped, or you've allowed yourself to feel a bit trapped in a few situations where and it's like, and so this cycle here, or this entrapment here with the devil card is, you allowing yourself to move through things, do things differently for you, because you know what, you can. And it's also about, some of you may be seeing, the patterns in the past is, I'm breaking a cycle, I'm going to get out of that, I'm going to set myself free from the way that I've been thinking, being, doing things, because I've noticed it's a habitual sort of thing, as in limiting belief patterns, but habitual, or you're breaking a cycle. And I feel like for a lot of you, you've been, wheedling some things away for a little while, and you've got to maybe a stalemate for a little while now, and it's like, okay, things have been tolerable before, but now it's got to the point where I really need to start making some changes. And that could be what the decision is making some definite changes, and speaking and speaking your truth with love, of course, peace, harmony, and joy, and all that, and those vibrational energies, so you can live with yourself basically, and not coming from that sharp, short, quite of, can be quite onto it, but also sharp sort of way of saying things. So sharp mind, sharp tongue, they say, like with the Gemini, because I'm a Gemini, but also have Libra. So there's, and with communication, it's yeah. So there could be something going on about with that as well. But this is definitely you breaking some, some patterns here, okay? Could be you could be seeing them as, addictions, but they changed the word into habitual. So whatever that is to you, whatever resonates with you, and whatever you terminate, that's your phrase of terminology is for you, is what it is. So I'm just going to see what the Two of Wands here. See, this is kind of like, you moving out of what they're giving you an idea. So they're just giving some Two of Wands is actually moving out of that space. I do feel like they're talking about it's time to move on. Like the idea, and that you've had the idea or the thought, and it's like you're trying to balance things up, or you have been balancing things, energy up with this change, but now it's like to throw it up in the air of caution and no caution actually, and move forward and take that next step with whatever it is. 8 here is the Strength card. So what is going to get you through this is your strength and your courage within all areas of you, the mind, the body, the spirit, and the soul space as well, because they're connected to the spirit and spirit energy. So whatever way you look at that. So in any way. So it's drawing on your strength, and exercise and the meditation side is really going to help with that. With whatever it is, whether it's something going on or not, it's just going to help you keep in that in a better frame of mind. Okay, so and body as well. Oh gosh, and spirit and soul energy. Cool. So then we have the Knight of Cups here. So something is moving along there. I feel like there's a sense, this hello and goodbye in this Page of Pentacles here. The Knight is here, and it's like, I feel like he's more coming in like to, this is something about, emotionally and intuitively, it's like where you are, you're needing to move on. And so the Knight is actually helping you take that next step. So I wouldn't be surprised if that energy, you start feeling, more okay about whatever is going on and just gliding through it in the end, because you're not as emotionally attached to or charged with, some of the things that could be coming up. Where people, some people spit the dummy. So there could be a little bit of, this laru going on, or a little bit of difficulty, coming through. But generally, I feel like this is like in a different, if things are moving in a different way of thinking being doing, because there's, we've got the Ace of Cups here, so there's been a shift in the perspective around things. So you're more emotionally like, okay, this is the way it's going to go. So he moves a little bit, slower than the others, but so this is really just taking your time, and, with the Page of Pentacles here as well. So there is something, a new step in a new career, new business, or new branching off with that as well. But also this cup could be, something, this card could also talk about a lover coming into your life, but I feel like you're more moving away from something or moving towards something, and moving towards something else, moving more towards relaxing and things are okay, and allowing yourself to be able to decide, because you're starting to get the idea that you've got the information that you need, the strength and the courage to do it. The Six of Swords, yes, moving away from something and relaxing and, visiting this space of this newfound sort of energy, way of thinking, being, and you're emotionally wise, but also your intuition is starts to heighten. So you may be feeling like your intuition is shifting a bit too. It's like, compared to what it was before, okay? And as you're moving and you're actually growing and blending in what it is that you, blending in the knowledge and the logic, balancing the knowledge, the logic and the intuitive side, that creative side of you, so bringing that together, which is having the Eight of Swords. So definitely this is about, this Eight of Swords is about self-restriction, basically letting yourself free, basically, and which is basically what the Devil card is about. So this is about, making some clear decisions. It's time to clearly make a decision about what you want. And so it could be like moving here, moving there. It could be like, or doing this or doing that, whatever it is, or, leaving this place or leaving that place, or this person or moving into that, something else, whatever it is. It probably has got something to do with letting go of old thought patterns and like habits, and really shifting your mindset. And rather than, and this is like really going quite deep, rather than feeling like you need someone to push you all the time. This is about you pushing yourself, or not even really pushing yourself, challenging yourself, basically, and finding that in the will, and making, and honoring yourself, basically. So yeah, the Eight of Swords is like setting yourself free. With that, and and through making some choices and decisions that are for your highest and greatest good. Okay, anyway, I'm going to leave that there for you. You've got a really exciting month that's coming up for you, Libra. So it's feeling really beautiful and flowing, even though it may not feel like it's going to be flowing, but underneath it all, the undercurrent is just flowing. So let's just like clear and cleanse as much as often as you need, and filter. That will help you feel you need to. That will help you. So whether that's saging, whether that's like blessing yourself with water, cleansing yourself with water, as in, going down to the beach and, just throwing water over you and doing your little karakia, or just your little incantation or intention setting, whatever that is for you, the words. It may be just like, I love and approve of myself, and wash yourself with water and just love yourself, basically. whatever it is. It may be catching up with people whom love you and you love them, friends, whatever, and doing things that really lift your energy. Whether that's going out with some friends and having dinner and having a drink or something like that, or a barbie or whatever, or maybe it's going for a walk in the bush. Whatever it is that lifts you. And replenishes you and gets you having a really good laugh and a good clear out and whatever that is. Anyway, I'm going to leave that with you now, with lots of love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement and adventure, but also prosperity and abundance. And I'll see you for the mid-October readings. Bye for now.